Hello, everyone, and welcome to United Pulse. So, the game against Chelsea. I would say I actually have this dilemma always whenever we are playing against big clubs, regardless of whether we have a good team or not, whether we are playing well in the whole season or not, whether we played really amazing in Europa Cup or Champions League or Carabao Cup or whatever cup it is. When it comes to big games like Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, it doesn't matter whether you're playing with your youth team, you're playing with half the squad injured, or whatever it is. You want to win. That's it. Chelsea is one of our biggest rivals. So, regardless of how, whatever was going on at the back end, I don't care whether we sacked the manager just a game before the Chelsea game. I still want to win. That's it, you know? And to be honest, a lot of people are saying that we should be content in getting a point, especially considering that half of our team was injured. We had almost 7 or 8 players injured. Chelsea had only one player injured, which was Sancho, which is a United player, all in all. So pretty much the only all the players who were injured were United players. But regardless of whatever the situation is, we were playing on home and we should have won. First half was really good, considerably. We created a lot of chances, but it was the same thing all over again, which we have seen in the whole season. We wasted a lot of chances. But overall, the gameplay from United, considering all the situations in our back room, in our injury list, and all that, it was a tough game for United. Even going into the game, we all knew that it is going to be a tough game for United. Ruud van Nistelrooy had every single thing to prove that he's a good manager, to prove that he still cares for United, to prove that he's passionate about United, and also to prove that maybe there is a chance for him in the future at United. So there are a lot of things that we saw in the game which I feel were very critical of Ruud van Nistelrooy as well, showing the passion when Bruno Fernandes scored the goal. On the touchline, he was really active throughout the game. So these are some of the things that we need from a manager, that's for sure. And of course, he's not going to be our first team manager in the future after a couple of games, but still, he's somebody we can see maybe in case we don't know what's going to happen with Ruben, because he's somebody who is probably another test for United, another experiment. I'm not saying that he is going to be successful or he won't be a success, because to be honest, I haven't seen much of his managerial career. But at the same time, it's the same thing as Ten Hag. Maybe a little bit different, but it's close to similar, coming from a league which is way below English Premier League. He doesn't have a huge career as a coach, but he has shown in his league that he is a capable manager. And he is one of the coaches which Liverpool and Manchester City also scouted. So even though I'm quite hesitant to give my opinion on the coach himself, but at the same time, there will always be question marks. What if it is not successful? And that is where I feel like Ruud van Nistelrooy can put a hook in United that, like, okay, there's a chance. If it doesn't work out, or regardless of whatever, maybe Ruben will be successful, but maybe he needs somebody who has shown that he is capable of running a top team at the highest level and support maybe Ruben for the first year at least. Because in the end, Ruud van Nistelrooy has spent some time with Ten Hag, let's say a few games, but at the same time, he has seen what is the inside of the team right now. Who are the players who are creating trouble? Who are the players who actually want to do something for United? Who are the players who actually want to play for United? Who are the players who want to stay and fight for their position? And who are the players who maybe Ruben should be expecting to move on? And that is very important. Also, because Ruud van Nistelrooy has a history with United, maybe he could be an asset for Ruben to play his cards right with the management. And I feel like this is where Ruud van Nistelrooy could be a really good asset. And that is why I feel the next two games for Ruud van Nistelrooy are extremely important. The next game with PAOK in Europa Cup and Leicester City. These two games, I don't think that he should take easy. Leicester City will never be an easy game. But PAOK, even though on paper it could be an easy game, but Ruud should not take it easy. He should be showing all the signs that how he can develop a team, how he places a team on the first sheet, and how he is going to make changes during the game. And this is very, very important. I feel like this is one of the things which let Ten Hag down. It's when the game is in critical situation, the substitutions that you make are really, really important. This is one of the reasons why Sir Alex Ferguson was so famous. And that is why we used to call last few minutes Fergie time. Because when the game is about to end, you know Alex Ferguson is going to do something, maybe bring on a player, maybe change the formation, maybe change the strategy, gameplay, something. But that is the time when United would score. And that is really, really important for any manager in the Premier League. Of course, for other leagues as well, but at the moment, I want to stick to Premier League because this is where United need to focus on right now. Getting ourselves back on top of the table, not at the top, but higher up at the table. I feel like if we can reach top 7, that is, then I would feel like, okay, we've done something, like, because the season at the moment looks really drastic for United. We are way, way below where we should be. Now, let's look at the reasons why I feel like it is very important that we have not just signed Ruben, but at the same time, we have locked him before the transfer window. And I mentioned this before as well. It is very important that Ruben comes before the transfer window. And now I feel that how quickly we managed to get him, but at the same time, got him to come early in the season. Now he will have almost 12 games before the transfer window. And it is a really important time for United, but at the same time, Ruben, because the games that we are going to be facing in this 12 period of times before the transfer window opens for Ruben are the games with Liverpool, Manchester City, Arsenal, Newcastle, Everton, and probably some other big names as well. But these 5-6 games are really crucial because they will be a really big testament of how Ruben plays his game against the big teams. And that is where he can actually evaluate which style of play he wants to play, what kind of team he has, how the team that he has put forward is going to be performing in the future. What are the changes he needs to make in the transfer window? Because let's be honest, winter window is not an easy window. Manchester United are never going to sanction 6-7 new signings in the first transfer window for a new manager, especially in a winter window. It is close to impossible and highly unlikely and also not financially feasible. Who is he going to let go? Who are we going to maybe send on loan or try to reduce the wage bill so that Ruben can actually sign someplace? I'm expecting maximum 2 to 3 players that he can bring in. But this is the question mark. Who does he bring in? Where does he needs to strengthen? And it all bottles down to what kind of formation he wants to play. And at the same time, where does he feel our team lacks? As in, like, we have players, but they are not capable enough. Or maybe we have players that are capable, but they're not capable of maintaining that formation. Because if he's going to play 3-4-3, then he needs to decide who is going to be our like a right midfielder and left midfielder, because these players need to have a lot of stamina. They need to be good at going forward. They need to be good at defensive play as well. Who is going to be our midfield? Who is going to be our focal point in our forwards? How are we going to create a system? Will it be a mid diamond? Would it be a forward wing? Or how would it be? Are we going to be playing with a false nine, or we are going to be playing with center forward? So all of this will make sense once Ruben comes in. He experiments in a couple of games probably, but maybe he won't have time to experiment. He just have to go with his guts. He has to probably test out a few different formations in a training ground, but he won't be able to implement them straight away. But that's the thing. These 12 games are his homework. But at the same time, these homeworks are so crucial that these 12 games could determine how the ownership, how the management of United are going to trust Ruben in the transfer window. Because if they see that in the 12 games that Ruben is in charge of, they don't see things improving. They don't see that Ruben is capable of taking a charge of a club like United. Then will they actually trust him in the transfer window? And if not, then what? Are they going to replace him straight away or not? Because that's another financial hit we are talking about. So that's why it is a very I would say like uncomfortable situation that United is in, and at the same time, Ruben would be in, because a lot of big clubs scouted Ruben as well, and now he has a chance to prove himself that he can actually manage a big club. And when I say big club, I mean big club. Maybe Sporting is a big club in Portugal, but United is a very, very different ball game. We have seen a lot of big managers coming in and not be successful because of the baggage that United comes with. And when I say baggage, I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean the real baggage which a big club comes with. You go to Real Madrid, not every manager will succeed at Real Madrid. You need a certain type of a manager who can actually be successful at Real Madrid. So that's what I'm saying. You look at Arsenal, they haven't been able to find a successful manager. Yes, Arteta is doing a good job, but until you win something with a big club, I feel like you're not a successful manager. So, yes, they are in a transition, but for how long? That's the thing. For a big club like Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, how long can you be patient with a new manager? And what are your expectations from him? It's really important. A club like United will not wait to win trophies. And yes, we categorize like, okay, Ten Hag won FA Cup and Carabao Cup and whatever. Those trophies are meaningless when you compare them with Premier League, with Champions League, with Europa League. So this is the important thing. And I feel like this is one of the reasons why probably Mourinho got sacked. This is probably why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got fired as well. Because yes, they were second, third on the table, but United needs to win. And I feel like with Ole especially, Mourinho at least won Europa League, but with Ole Gunnar, he was really close but comfortable, and that is where United don't want to be. United don't want to be comfortable at top 2, 3, 4. We want to win the league. If the manager is not capable of pushing us to win the league, probably he's not the right manager for United. And no disrespect for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I feel like maybe we didn't give him enough time. Maybe if we would have given him more time, and maybe if he would have able to bring in a couple of new faces in, probably he could have changed things around. He had a good squad. We had Ronaldo under Ole Gunnar as well. Maybe if we would have bought Casemiro when Ronaldo was in, maybe we could have changed things under Ole Gunnar as well. And that's the thing. It feels like every single thing is a domino effect. And we are not able to place our dominoes right. When we had Ronaldo, we didn't have this. When we had Casemiro, we didn't have this. So it's always something that is missing. And that is the important thing. We need to find our dominoes right so that when they fall in a straight line. And that is the important thing. Now, I don't want to talk much about Ruben because I feel like it will be injustice of me to give my remarks of how he's going to play without he even stepping into the United jersey. But at the same time, I really hope for the best. I want to see significant changes in the lineup. I want to see how we are going to be promoting players who actually want to play, who are performing, even though maybe some of the players are young, but they are desperate. And that's what we need right now. We want players who are desperate to play for United. I want to see how Ruben can actually manage a team like United. I'm not going to judge him for winning or losing a game, even though I want to win every game. But I want to see that how he puts on a team which shows desire that they are capable of something. I want to see players trying. I want to see Ruben trying every single thing that he has got. I want him to experiment, but at the same time, experiment with a vision. Because experimenting without a vision, just because, okay, this is not working, let's do this, it's not going to solve problems. I want us to experiment with a vision that, okay, because this is happening, so let's do this. And this has been a big problem at United before as well. Because let's be honest, we have faced a lot of managers who have played the team with favoritism, or they are forced to play team with favoritism. At the back room, I don't know what happens at the back room. Who is forcing who to play who? Whose final decision it is to send out the first team? Because sometimes there are contracts which players are bound by, and the managers have to utilize those contracts. But what if it isn't? Do United sacrifice a player's contract to a loss? That's a question that I want to be answered as a fan. So it's really important for us to figure out what we need to do. I mean, what Ruben needs to do as a manager to be successful. Because in the end, his contract is on the line as well. And not just his contract, his reputation. Because let's be honest, right now he's coming to United with a huge reputation, considering that he is one of the best young upcoming coach that has been labeled. He was scouted by Liverpool, he was scouted by Man City, and he was scouted by a few other top teams in Europe as well. And before, he actually refused to go to those clubs because he wanted to build something at Sporting. And now he somehow changed his mind and he's coming to United. It's a big step. It's a very critical moment. It's a very risky moment for Ruben and United as well. So he has to do something. He has to do something. And I feel like whenever a new manager comes in, he has to do something different from previous managers, which gives him a stamp, which tells people that, okay, this manager came in and he did this. We can say about Mourinho that, okay, he won us Europa League, and that was the only European competition that we won since Sir Alex Ferguson. With Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, probably we can say that we got somewhat stability at United. He was a good communicator within the squad, but that's about it, right? We need to find manager who are going to bring something unique, something different, which is going to put a stamp on his career that he brought this at United. And that is what we want. That is what I want, at least. When Sir Alex Ferguson was there, I don't want to go down the history lane that, like, okay, Sir Alex used to do this, so we should do that. Times have changed. We can't even recognize the team that we have right now. So I'm not going to go into what Sir Alex Ferguson did. We should be doing this same thing. But if you see Sir Alex Ferguson, you see Pep Guardiola, all of them, the greatest managers ever, they have all brought in something which has changed football in general, or at least it has changed their team. You see Klopp, he revitalized Liverpool. So this is something that I expect Ruben to bring in. And there are a lot of high hopes from him. So let's see what happens. We have a game against PAOK and then Leicester City, and then we will have Ruben. I can only wish him good luck. But first thing first, I just hope that we play good football at PAOK. I expect Ruud van Nistelrooy to experiment a little bit with youth as well with PAOK. I was watching United Stand earlier as well, and it was a good suggestion from Mark that we should experiment with Amas. He has shown previously that he has the capability, but he's still young. And this is probably the best time to utilize him. I think that Van Nistelrooy should not make a lot of changes for Europe, but at the same time, he should make critical changes for Europe because of our next game with Leicester City. So let's see what Van Nistelrooy comes up with, what kind of a team we play with. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next game. Have a nice day.